Hello everybody, MorbTron here. Today I want to talk about primary weapons, and specifically primary weapons that land in the energy slot. If you're like myself, and you consider yourself a fusion rifle aficionado, you primarily use fusion rifles as your secondary weapon or special weapon type in Crucible. You really haven't ever had a reason to collect, farm for, or even just go after, in general, a good energy primary. But if you look at the roadmap for Destiny 2 Season of Dawn, on January 28th, we have the final exotic questline for the season, and it is for a new fusion rifle called Bastion. And we don't know much about Bastion, but it is rumored to be a kinetic weapon. And at this point, it's kind of guaranteed and backed up to be that, a kinetic exotic fusion rifle, because if you look in your exotic tabs in game, if you have every other weapon unlocked or the ability to just see them, there is a new slot in the kinetic exotic weapons tab that is blank, meaning that there is an exotic almost ready to be put in the game that's not quite there yet. And if you look in the energy slot for exotics, the Devil's Rune, the new exotic sidearm we'll be getting on the 8th, is actually already in there. So that tells me, and that basically guarantees, that the exotic we're getting at the end of the month is going to be kinetic. So be prepared for a kinetic exotic fusion rifle. I myself cannot wait. I'm super stoked. I've been wanting a, maybe not even an exotic, but I don't know how else they would justify an exotic fusion rifle or a kinetic fusion rifle, other than it being an exotic, kind of like the Arbalest is a kinetic exotic linear fusion rifle. And the background footage, of course, you're seeing right now is using Arbalest, just getting the last few kills I needed for the Komodo ritual quest for Season 9. And the energy weapon, energy primary that I'm using in the video is a Waking Vigil hand cannon. The Waking Vigil is something that I would greatly recommend that people go for, not only because it's just a good hand cannon overall, especially after the range normalization change for hand cannons going into year 3 of Destiny 2, but because it is incredibly easy to farm for as well. Maybe not as easy as it used to be back when Menagerie was in its prime, or the thing to do, but it is still incredibly easy compared to other weapons out there right now. I know we have the Jack Queen King back as a energy hand cannon to farm for, but comparing a Waking Vigil to a Jack Queen King, I much rather have a Waking Vigil than a Jack Queen King, personally. It feels way better. Now, you can farm for a Waking Vigil a couple different ways. You can get them, of course, in the Dreaming City. It's a Dreaming City weapon, but the loot pool for Dreaming City activities, bounties, that sort of thing, is so large that the chances of you getting a Waking Vigil alone are incredibly small, and the chances of getting a Waking Vigil that actually is a good roll is even smaller. So Menagerie is definitely going to be the way to go there. And the way to guarantee getting a range masterwork Waking Vigil in Menagerie, in rune slot 1, you're going to want to put the Rune of Desire. It's a green rune, has like a little snake face on it. And in the rune 2, it's also going to be just any green rune. And then to guarantee the range masterwork, I believe it's a blue rune. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain it's blue, remembering back to the Menagerie days of things. But that guarantees you that you get a Waking Vigil with a range masterwork as the reward, and then you only have to get good traits. Now, my personal Waking Vigil that I use has Accurized Rounds, Opening Shot, and Outlaw. You cannot get things like Rampage or Kill Clip on a Waking Vigil, and Multi-Kill Clip wasn't in the game when Waking Vigil was introduced. But the hand cannon is incredibly consistent and makes a very good primary for Crucible. You don't have the 2-shot capabilities that some hand cannons do, like 110s, things like that. But it is a very good, consistent weapon, and personally, I would much rather have consistency over something that has inconsistent lethality And you'll see here that it lands its shots very, very well. And with opening shot on a hand cannon, actually increases the range a little bit on the opening shot of an attack, and gives it more aim assist, which just makes the weapon even more consistent. Now, I would definitely recommend going for a range masterwork and something with accurized rounds, just to give the hand cannon more range. The range statistic on a Waking Vigil is one of the lower base stats of the weapon, but because of that, the rest of its base stats points are into things like reload, stability, handling. Its recoil direction is incredibly good, and also its aim assist is incredibly good. Comparing it to something like the Jack Queen King, which is another arc energy 150 RPM hand cannon, the Waking Vigil seems to connect its shots a lot better. I don't know what the big difference is between the two, because their recoil direction is nearly identical. Their aim assist, actually, the Jack Queen King has, I believe, a couple more points into its aim assist base, but their base stats are different. But the Jack Queen King feels a lot worse than a Waking Vigil, in my opinion, and it's a lot easier to farm for a God Roll version of it. So get in the menagerie. You have a little less than a month. You have about 20 days, 20-ish, we'll call it that, before that quest goes live, from the time this video goes live, depending on what day I actually upload it. Yeah, get your hands on one and get ready. You know, get yourself some good, you know, maybe fast-firing pulse rifles in the energy slot, some auto rifles, some SMGs that aren't recluse. Don't be that guy. And prepare yourself for having to use energy primary weapons quite a bit. I know that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be practicing a whole hell of a lot with this Waking Vigil, because I enjoy it. So there we go. And I'll let this video play out, this Crucible match play out here. End up getting, it's pretty average amount of kills, something like a little over 30. Ended up squeaking off the win at the end. So that's going to be it. If you liked the video, hit the like button for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you're new here, subscribe, all that shenanigans. But do not forget to have a good day, everybody. And I'll catch you all next time.
Amazing! Well done. You have the lead. With 10 Titans like you, I could build all 7 columns and shake the pillars to their core. A victory well executed. Impressive. You could give the Redjacks a lesson in territory control.